Okay, this is Clumber Park, slightly different video this week. We're going to do talk over the actual run using a different camera. Here we go, there we have a dog attacking my wife there in the background. Good to know it's not just me that the dogs go for, it's me running off without any care in the world. So yeah, that church in the background there, that is the Chapel of St Mary the Virgin, which is kind of classed as a cathedral in miniature. As I've said at the start, we are here in Clumber Park, which is a National Trust estate very close to Worksop, which is very, very popular, as you can see here, with lots of people wandering around the lake. We're starting off by running around the lake, just getting kind of the hardest bit out of the way with the amount of people that would be around. The weather, as you can see, was absolutely amazing. It was in the mid-20s. Pretty much all of the way around, which is perfect for topping up the old suntan, and barely a cloud in the sky. The plan today was to go as far as I possibly could. So last record was around about 4.5 hours, so we're looking around about 5 hours plus for today's run. Heading out south of the park here towards Budby and Sherwood Forest. Now, after damaging my remaining good foot last week, it took most of the week basically for it to recover. Touch wood, it was pretty solid throughout this run. So fingers crossed that's not going to be a long-term injury. My right foot is still causing me grief, but that's kind of expected with the tendon damage that I did before. So you can see here we're trying out the new camera. It's an Insta360. I think it gives a bit more of a feel for what it's like to be out there running. This is the first part, well, after the first time I got lost, so I managed for whatever reason to head off towards Meaden Vale when I should have turned off south towards King's Clipston. So I'm around about 8 miles in here, and as you can see there was a good mix of terrain. Now some people don't actually like running in the forest, but I actually find it quite relaxing. When I'm not getting lost, that is. There are far worse places to be on a nice day, particularly when it is as quiet as it was. This is a track that was fine going down. We're probably looking around about 1:30 in the afternoon here, but it was an absolute beast coming back up here at about 4 o'clock. So there's a pub that we just passed there called Dog and Duck, which is an excellent pub. They actually do Heineken Zero. So I was very, very tempted just to stop there on the way down, but I was only around about 11 miles in, so it's probably a little bit premature for that. Carrying further down this track here, we are heading towards Vickerwater Country Park. And here we are coming into Vicar Waters. You can see there a few people fishing. That was my first stop for the day, so I did actually stop there for a couple of minutes, took in some water before carrying on up the hills. We're probably around about 15 miles in here. Now, energy-wise, I've been taking both gels and energy bars, so I've been trying to hit that 50 to 60 grams of carbs an hour, working really quite well at this time. We're kind of heading slightly towards Sherwood Pines, and Sherwood Pines is actually really quite popular for mountain biking, so a lot of these paths, even though you're not quite in Sherwood Pines now, are very mountain trail-esque. Lost again. Out comes the comes the phone, looking at the old OS maps. It is the problem with forest. That is probably the biggest drawback to any forest. Is even no matter how many times you do it, you always do tend to get lost. And so here we are. We're now coming into Sherwood Pines. Now I actually have a park run around here on a Saturday, but it was really quiet around here. I mean, it was busy with people cycling, but that's to be expected around the trails. But the actual park itself, no one was around hardly at all. So over the last week, I'm in pretty good shape. I've not really done that much training because of the damage that I've done to my foot. I did actually start off the week quite badly with some gastroenteritis. So the good news is I lost all my holiday weight in one day, lost about 5 pounds. So that nothing like a good clear out. Now we're heading back out towards the north end of Sherwood Pines now. So Sherwood Pines do actually do a lot of concerts and outdoor festivals. They also do camping and glamping. So it's a really good place to be. And it's just around the corner from Center Parks. Now the only problem with doing the route that I've done here is that you do have to do a little bit of road running out of Sherwood Pines to go back up towards King's Clipston. You don't have to, obviously you can go all the way back out through Vicar Waters again, but try to keep as little overlap on a route as possible just to keep it fresh and interesting. I did manage to resist going to the Dog and Dirk on the way back again. That was at about miles 18. I kind of regret not stopping there because now all this entire path, this is where I was suffering all the way up. Just sunshine the entire way, no wind, it all dropped down. It basically depleted all of the energy reserves that I seemed to have. So the biggest problem that I was really suffering from throughout was lack of hydration. So with that prolonged heat, I then stopped taking in the carbs, which then had the knock-on effect of just starting to really feel tired and almost bonking out. So it's around about this time that I decided I'd make a pit stop to the visitor centre, which is near Edwinstowe, which in itself is a challenge to find most of the time. But yeah, managed to get in there, got him a posh lemonade, which is kind of the sweet treat of the week, I suppose. I'm more of a Fanta man, but San Pellegrino will do the job. There we go, look at me, looking way more energised now. Well, maybe not. Here we have the big show, the reason everyone comes here to Sherwood Forest. It is the Major Oak. Like I mentioned in the last video, it is looking a little bit sorry for itself these days. Yeah, 1,000 years old. I think everyone will be looking a little bit sorry for themselves, really. Ice cream. There we go. See, that would have been a better sweet treat of the week. So we're going to be around about mile 20, 21 here. And I'm heading north out of Sherwood, back towards Hazel's Gap. To the right of me here is Budby, South Budby, which is a naturist reserve, but I decided to not go in there with my 360-degree camera. It seemed a little bit too invasive, so I decided that would probably be best not to do that. It's a bit of a learning curve how to use it in the first place, let alone how to blur out images. My wife went through there, obviously, but less said about that, the better. So we're still on our the route here back up to Hazel's Gap. It's one of these ones as well, particularly when you get to this stage, you're thinking, oh, it's only just down there, just up the road and I'll be in Hazel's Gap. And then you get down the path a bit and you go, it must be soon, it must be soon. You cross the road and you think, oh, it must be soon. And it just keeps on going and going and going. So here we are, we're coming up towards the end here. This is just the path down back into Clumber Park. Probably around about mile 25. Oh, look at the grimace there. See, it wasn't fun. This is the ornamental bridge. And now next week I'm running the Ian Milne White Peak Marathon, which takes in 2 familiar running trails that I've kind of covered on here already. I haven't decided whether to 360 or not, so let me know what you think of this new format in the comments below. And until next time, I shall see you in the next video. Okay, so it's officially the longest run and longest time endurance wise of the year. I am pretty beat. It's probably one of the warmest days of the year as well, so it's a bit of a shock to the system, to be honest. Certainly a lot quieter here in Clumber Park than it was when we started off. But anyway, I'll throw the stats up, and thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.